Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Weekly, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we will talk to Evan VanScoyk about his bourbon journey. It's also his birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Evan!
Happy birthday!
My name is Matthew. Please
It's your
join
birthday.
my co-host Steve MacLeod, along with our special guest Jim Posnot, Wes Harden, and the birthday boy Evan VanScoyk.
Evan VanScoyk, it's your birthday, man! This is your special day! Hell!
Thank you all.
Not only is it your birthday, we're going to learn about your bourbon journey today. This is pretty exciting.
It's a you show. It's all about you.
It's all about Evan. It's all about Evan.
Can't wait.
So, yeah.
I'm very honored.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get to all that and the festivities associated around Evan's birthday, McNew, there's something you wanted to talk about. What is that?
Okay, so I actually love Reddit. I don't have an account. I just kind of scroll through things.
Okay.
But I saw a post that said, what was a very basic thing you saw as a child that you thought was the pinnacle of luxury?
Is it the pinnacle or the
pinnacle?
pentacle?
You didn't have it in your own house, but you were like your rich
Is it a
friend.
pentacle? Maybe we need to do a sticker of the pinnacle of luxury.
And
Pentacle.
you thought it was
It's a pentagram of luxury.
but it's actually very basic now that you're an adult. And I thought it was like the fridges with the ice. I thought fridges with ice and water were luxurious. We didn't have that. We
Okay. So it's
basic.
built in. It's built in the door.
But like you could just put the cup in there, give you ice and water.
Yeah.
That's not fancy. I
My
thought that
parents
was
wouldn't have any of that because they always say
No.
that's going to break or go
Yeah.
wrong or something.
And I actually thought like Arby's was like fancy fast food because
Arby's?
we went to McDonald's and Burger King. We didn't go to Arby's. I thought that was like fancy fast
No.
food.
We have
It's not.
fancy fast food. We have Lion's Choice. That's fancy
No,
Arby's.
I want to know
Pretty
like
close.
very basic shit now as an adult that you thought was fancy as a child because your parents just weren't here for it.
Okay.
I'll go. I remember when we got our first desktop computer, and you had like the floppy disk games, and they had like there was a couple of sports games, the Oregon Trail. There was like a bunch of other weird games. So that was when like computer games first started, and it was when they first started selling computers for like home use. It was old DOS based and all that crap. But even if you had one and you had no fucking idea how to work it, you were cool, right? Because you had a computer. You're like super,
for sure,
super high tech and all that nonsense. So yeah, at the time I thought it was pretty badass. But when I look back at it, what a piece of crap those were. And like DOS was impossible to get through. You couldn't get it to
like
do
the weird
anything.
situation, like where your family's kitchen also became like a sort of hybrid computer room, or like
Yeah, it was weird.
computer room that wasn't a room.
It ended up just turning into yet another video game system along with like my Super NES and my Mega or Sega and all that shit.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was probably the one thing that we got where I was like, yeah, we're not doing too bad. We got our own computer, right?
Yeah.
Fuck all you guys. Like, we have our computer.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we didn't know how to use it very well. So,
So when I was a kid growing up, single income family, my dad was a policeman, didn't do really great, worked secondary and stuff like that. And I mean, all I wanted when they first came out was a pair of Nike tennis shoes. I mean, I thought those were great. We couldn't afford it. My mom said, no, you got to get the Kmart brand, the Trax. You make the Trax and Trax, Trax, so I had to wear the Kmart Trax tennis shoes. I couldn't have the Nikes like the cool kids in school. I had to have the Kmart brand, the tracks. So that would have been a big deal to me to get those Nikes, but what are you going to do? Or Nikes, as I called them at the time. I want to get them Nikes.
The Nikes.
Yeah, I wanted Nikes, but it didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. I had to wear the Kmart brands and Rustler jeans. I couldn't get the Levi's. So the Rustlers. Not even the Wranglers. I had to step below the Wranglers, the Rustlers.
The Rustlers were so stiff they would like stand up by themselves.
They looked like Kramer walking around with.
Yeah, they could stand. You could like jump into them. They would stand up by themselves. Jump right into them.
Yes. Yeah.
So Steve, you and I are a different generation, obviously, but so.
We're the same age. You're 52.
You and I are a different generation from the rest of them.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought you and I were.
No. So my mom was a pretty good cook, and she resisted microwaves forever.
Oh, yeah. My mom, too. Yeah.
She's like, it's a damn expensive hot dog warmer. I don't need that damn expensive hot dog warmer. That she called all the time. And so finally, when we got a damn expensive hot dog warmer, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I'd put everything, like put a Hostess cupcake in there, watch the icing explode, whatever. So that for me, like getting a microwave was like the end all, because my parents grew up poor, like dirt poor, but my dad did fantastic, put us out to college, and we grew up he ended up being a vice president of a very large company, but they still had the mentality that they were poor. Yeah. And so they would never buy stuff or spend money on stuff growing up. Like all my buddies had Mongoose bikes and like fantastic BMX bikes, and I had this piece of shit Huffy, because my dad wouldn't spend money on stuff. But that microwave was like, that's when we made it as a house. I'm like, we probably have a microwave. 5 years after
I remember.
I remember that microwave is the fridge for me.
I love the fact it's a microwave. I think that's cool. But I remember another one as you're saying this when MTV came out. My parents wouldn't get cable TV. But the only way I could stay caught up on videos was they had a show called Friday Night Videos, and I would watch that because I was on regular TV. And so I could watch the videos and act like I had MTV when I go to school. I'd be like, yeah, did you see the Jay Giles Band new video? Oh my God, it's great. In the meantime, I'm just watching it on regular TV because I don't have MTV. But I didn't
have cable until I was like 22 or 23. I'm like, we went to college.
Frustrating. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the first time recording a show so you can rewatch it later?
Oh, VCR.
Yeah, you put like in the little tape in it. It's on the other tape. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah.
Evan, what's the thing that you got that let you know you had made it?
So there's so many because growing up through the 90s, like all of those brand new things, like one of the earliest I would say, because we're talking about kids mainly. So I'll go with the Game Boy, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you didn't have a Game Boy, like you were missing out. And I remember for the longest time never having this the old big Game Boy, which is like the size of like the T93 calculator.
Right? When you're a kid and you don't have the stuff the other people do.
I still have one of those, by the way. I have that packed up. I have all my old video games packed away, and that's in there.
Yeah.
And the glue had worn off, so the screen protector had come off, but we're still using it for like at least a few more years until you finally got like the Game Boy Color. But like I remember that so fondly because that's what you would play Pokemon on. And then like you were collecting Pokemon cards as a kid in the 90s, like just all of those new release electronics. Like if you didn't have the first MP3 player when it came out, or like kids started getting cell phones in the early 2000s, late 90s, like those were the types of things that were like, you made it if you had like a Game Boy or a cell phone or an MP3 player on you.
Yeah.
Steve and I were playing the freaking football with the red dot.
Yeah, and you're the Mattel. Yeah, just West too.
Red dot, like just going through the screen as fast as you could. Like that's what Steve and I had.
Yeah.
Hey, Tetris was super solid on a Game Boy.
So
Tetris.
Like I think it's funny like to see like your parents' values were different because like my brother and I like had our own rooms, but we had a game room. But like my best friend like had a share room with her sister, but they had like the best new gaming systems. We didn't have the best new gaming system, so I'm like, I'm gonna go to Rachel's house and play this game. my mom's like, ma'am, you have your own room. Like, you can do whatever you want in there. And I'm like, we had different life experience, like, based on our parents' values,
Yes.
which I think is funny now as an adult. Because I'm just like, yeah, give me more fucking rooms. Like, that's what
my best friend's father had like every tool known to man, and we go there and build stuff all the time. And so I was always at his house. And then I think my parents got jealous that we never hung at my house. So one year for Christmas, the worst Christmas I ever had, my dad bought me like a toolbox with like a bunch of hammers and stuff, like and scrap wood. I'm like, no, he's got like a lathe and like stuff. Like this hacksaw and a hammer isn't going to cut it.
Right.
Yeah.
You build a birdhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, it's something really weird. I remember a kid down the street. He always had a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was so fucking cool. His house always had a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
so
amazing
my house
what you
was
think is cool.
that house. Because my mom worked nights at the time. Like, factory work in the Midwest was a big thing. She worked for Ford. My mom was killing it in the 90s at Ford. And she worked third shift. So she'd be like, I went to Pizza Hut. Your pizza's in the fridge. My mom would buy like 4 goddamn pizzas for me and my friends and my brother and his friends. And they're like, we're going to go to your house because you have like Mountain Dew and Pepsi and pizza. So we would just reheat it in the microwave. We knew what to do. And we were like the party house, I guess. We were like 12 years old. And we were the party house in the 90s, early 2000s. But kids don't do that now. Like, kids like need more, I guess.
You got a microwave at 12?
Yeah, like it was a fucking thing. Like, my mom was like, I bought all this food today. Preheat it. You'll be fine. I bought you fast food today. Pizza fast food. But like my friends were like, oh, your mom buys pizza every Friday. I'm like, yeah, she does. And like my house is a fun house.
Like Steve and I grew up without cell phones.
Right. Yeah.
But Steve, how did you always knew where the party was, didn't you? Like,
Oh yeah.
like there was never a Friday or Saturday night I was home. Like ever. Like I was always at someone's house for some party, someone's parents were out of town, whatever. I don't know how we did it because
I don't know how we did it either. But yeah.
I don't know how pizza got delivered without GPS. Like our emos guy knew how to get to our house somehow, and we had no GPS. Like,
And giant maps in the back of those emos.
I know.
I've seen one.
That's like
I know.
another, like, are they just printing out like what is it, like the Quest? What is it? The Quest thing map?
It didn't exist
that
back
wasn't
then.
a thing.
They didn't
then.
have that. Yeah.
It didn't exist. You had a map. You literally had a map.
The fancy ones were the kind of ones, the spiral notebook ones that had,
Right.
you know, you could look up in the back what page it was on, the street, and then that was as good as it got. I started
That's my
working-
challenge to the kids now. Like give them a location and an atlas and find it.
Yeah.
Drive there.
But like Domino's in the 90s were like, we'll get to you in 20 minutes. How
Oh,
did
yeah.
they know? How did they know? They had like 16-year-old drivers.
Oh,
pick
they
from
just
the
kill
shop.
people.
They got
Yeah.
But, like,
if you got killed, they would. It didn't matter.
I'm like, we're gonna die, but we'll get you your pizza. Like,
In McNew, where I lived at Lake of the Ozarks, they delivered Domino's by boat.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
wild. So, my where I lived, we never got delivery. We had to actually drive to the high school. The pizza places would drive to the high school to deliver pizza. They would bring it to your car
Really?
because we were so rural.
So you would give them your car make, and then they would pull up because there were probably other people that wanted pizza on a
Yeah,
Friday
so
night.
we'd be like, deliver this to Tri High School. We'll be in the parking lot. The car looks like this. They would bring it that far. They wouldn't come into the country because we live.
McNew, that's where I live. That's where I live now, McNew. It's the same thing.
Pizza
Like,
swap meet.
Yeah, we had
I can't get any of the delivery services out here. There's
You
two
literally
people-
swap meat on that pizza.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do any of that.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I can DoorDash lunch. It's $90. Fine.
Gosh, you're
So-
you're insane.
Good world I
It's
live in.
time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Evan. He's won 3 out of 4. Let's see how he does on this one.
All right, I don't know if I'm gonna win this one. I'm breaking because this one's in honor of my show, so
Okay.
I have to talk about where my bourbon journey ends up. So that is the VanScoyk Vows, which is my wedding whiskey.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, decent. We'll see if it holds up. Wes, you're next.
Yeah, I'm not going to compete against Evan on his special shoe. I'm going to drink a sample of Dusty, it's Old Kentucky. It's 1988, 13 years, old KBD stuff.
Okay. All right. McNew, what do you got?
So as we're recording, this is literally a week that I've had it. It's my Valentine's Day present. It's the new Riff Malted Dry. It's not going to do it though.
Good base. Good base. Yeah.
Table. That was table. That wasn't base. That was her table.
You think that was table? Okay. We'll see. Evan's still got the lead then. I'm going to go new Riff single barrel. New Riff single barrel.
Battle of the New Riffs.
Yeah. So here we go. Oh, Evan's still got the lead. I didn't bring much there. So, Jim, you're between Evan and victory. What do you got?
I don't know. I got this bottom shelf thing I found somewhere. It's called the VanScoyk Vows.
Okay.
So,
Pretty full bottle. Pretty full bottle.
I haven't opened it yet. We'll see. I haven't heard good things, but we'll find out.
Oh, savage.
Oh!
Sound like a pop gun.
That was a cannon on my end.
Evan loses, but he kind of wins too because it is his whiskey. So
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cheers, Jim, for that
Jim wins.
shot.
Cheers.
Well
Cheers.
played. Well played.
Finally, my birthday, I win one.
Yeah.
Happy
True.
birthday!
He didn't win on his
Eric-
special birthday show, but he won on this one. So on Evan's
know.
birthday, which
It's
Evan
Eric
won
on
on
his
his
birthday.
birthday. So
Record on my
yeah,
birthday.
yeah, there you go. All right, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Evan's bourbon journey on his birthday. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hi, this is Rick Brenner, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Shouldn't it be the legend?
Maybe.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are celebrating Evan VanScoyk on his birthday and his bourbon journey.
Yes, we are. So happy birthday, Evan. So once
Thank
again,
you.
tell us a little bit about the bourbon journey, and then we'll have everyone ask you a question about it. So, but just give us a little summary first.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like it's been it feels much longer, but I did a little research back and looking at the timeline. Honestly, most of this all started like June of 2018. So me and the girl I happened to be dating at the time, she had recently left University of Kentucky, where she studied enology and distilling. And one of the things she really liked was whiskey. And I was more of a, crazy mixed cocktails, making giant fish bowl type of guy, growing up through my 20s. And I'm about 27-ish, 28 at the time. And she starts pushing me towards whiskey, and we're like, well, let's go to like a cocktail event. So we go to this place I've never been before, but it's downtown St. Louis. So that's where I work. It's not far from, just a few blocks away. I could almost walk there, but probably wouldn't. But stone's throw from Busch Stadium. And we go to this place called Still 630. And it's a first Friday, and they're giving out free experimental tastings, and have a great time. Amazing cocktails, meet some really cool people. This weird guy over in the corners, like recording people, and he walks up to me the very first time I'm ever there, and he asks me what I think of it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I was like, we should come back and do these again. And apparently they do them every single month. But also, it's June, so they're having a special event. So I go to Still 630 Day on June 30th, get my first ever Rally Point 5 year. And really from there, I start going with Taylor to, whiskey events like every couple of weeks. We start going to this weird guy in the corner with a big beard. He's got some type of class at this Total Wine, some weird store out in Brentwood. And we start showing up to all of these events. And I hear he has a podcast. I listened to it a couple times, and I just start doing all these events. At one point in like 2019, I become a Patreon, and we win a Bourbon Life experience to go to Spirits of French Lick for a day, and get like a whole behind the scenes thing. And it's just like this really weird, random series of events with some goofy dude who hosts podcasts, and these couple of craft distilleries in the St. Louis area. We visit Stumpy's in Illinois. We go over to Wood Hat. And we try all these different craft distilleries around. And it's like, we just keep building this Bourbon Life. And I started with maybe 4 bottles on a bar cart in 2018. And I now have an entire whiskey library bookcase that's our living room feature thing.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's nice.
I probably have hundreds of bottles, and it's been a really crazy ride. And it culminated with us purchasing our own custom whiskey 2 years in advance after we got engaged. And we aged it for just under 2 years at Still 630. Custom Mashville, custom everything, custom labels. We called it the VanScoyk Vows. We debuted it at our wedding in November. And it's been awesome. I've got to meet all these amazing people, drink all these amazing whiskeys, spend way too much money.
Oh, yeah.
But it's totally worth it. Like, I wouldn't give up this ride for anything.
Nice. I didn't realize I had such a role here. I was mentioned several times, not by name, of course, but I knew when he was talking about me. So there you go. Wes, what do you want to ask Mr. Evan on his birthday here about his journey?
So I'm going to ask a question that somebody asked me on another episode of this, which I thought was pretty interesting, actually. What is the craziest, weirdest thing that you've done to try to obtain a bottle of whiskey?
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great question, by the way. I would say sneaking off in the middle of the day on like a Saturday.
Okay.
Where like you say you're like gonna go do some errands, pick up like, some groceries, or you got to go get some mail or something from another town. And while you're out, you actually end up going by like 1 or 2 liquor stores just to see what they have in store. Like, I've totally used that move probably at least a dozen times. And she has no idea, but now she can probably hear my voice through the door and is on to me. But I definitely use that. The weirdest travel one is just going like on a random road trip to Effingham to pick up some bottles. One of my favorite stores, A1 Effingham. It's about an hour. It was an hour drive from where I used to live. Now it's closer to like 2 now. And, just if you got a free day on like a Saturday or Sunday, make a drive there and back.
Yeah, that's
just
4 hours then. Yeah,
just to pick up spending 4 hours just to go pick up a bottle or two. And usually that's, I would say that's a pretty good commitment. Now I have heard people going like full on days to pick up cases of milk before. I forget exactly who that was, but they love to go drive up into like Wisconsin, pick up cases of milk and drive back. They spend a whole day doing it.
Really?
Not that crazy.
Gross.
It's Steve. It was been on one of our shows. I forget who exactly it was, but they loved this milk.
They love milk.
So it's not that extreme. But I've definitely put way
milk?
too many miles. No,
Milk.
It was milk. Yeah,
Okay.
It was like, it might have been the chocolate milk, but it was like, it maybe Oberweis. It was a very specific
Well,
milk.
you can get
that they were
Oberweis here
going
in
to
St.
get.
Louis. Yeah.
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 Okay, maybe it's not Oberweis.
Oberweis is literally
very specific one.
it's like 8 minutes from my house, so you
Yeah.
can get there quickly.
I don't think it was the Robinsons, but it might have been the Robinsons.
Robinsons. Okay. All right.
We'll need to ask around, but somebody who was on one of these talked about making day trips to go purchase all this milk.
Milk. Okay.
They'd load up the back of their trunk with it.
Wow.
So nothing that extreme, but I think a 4-hour road trip's pretty aggressive just to get a couple bottles.
Yeah.
Was the milk in glass bottles or jugs?
Or bags. You ever seen Canada?
I
where
would
they put it in bags
I would
and stuff?
assume glass.
I think that's come down too from Canada.
Canada's stupid.
You can get your milk in a bag. Why would you want that? I don't want milk in a bag.
Canada is so backwards.
It's so
not even
fucking.
funny.
And like they have a bag and they put it in a pitcher. Like it's
I know.
so
It's
much
gross. I don't.
It's weird. Like I wouldn't buy milk.
I'm just
if,
gonna
like,
take that and throw that in the trash.
just
You serve me milk in a bag. I'm just gonna throw it.
I don't understand the point of milk anyway. Like I don't use it. My husband's kid likes cereal. It's the only reason we buy it. But
Okay.
why are you going to put it in a bag and then in a pitcher? It just seems like so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Wes, you know what this just made me think of? I once convinced a friend who was making a road trip to take an hour and a half detour to stop at Starlight to get their release on a Saturday. I didn't do it personally, but I convinced them to take the hour detour.
Starlight is beautiful though. Like the drive, the scenery, kind of worth it if you're wasting time on a Saturday.
Yeah, Starlight.
They have great milk too.
Yeah. We have great milk.
Straight from the cow.
Yeah. All right, McNew, what do you want to ask Evan?
Evan, so is it you that is the whiskey fan, or is it Taylor that is the whiskey fan? Because I feel like Tay like might be more.
Tay.
Don't
Like
call
you
her
have
that.
like more of a.
Tay, where does
She literally, if she heard this, she would literally be so upset by you saying that.
Hey,
Oh, I
Tay?
can't wait for the next live event.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah, I can't wait.
information we need.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bill 630, Tay signs are going up.
Tay.
Jim, how many failed marriages do you have? You're just ending mine.
Yeah.
I did not mean that in an offensive way.
Should have voted my wife out, jackass.
I felt like the perfect person to do it. I feel like she's more into bourbon, but like you are more like personably into it, sort of. I'm just trying to. I don't know.
So it's
I'm
definitely
not
her.
ending your marriage. I'm sorry.
No. Taylor is the true whiskey fan, and
Wait,
I don't
Tay.
know.
I don't know.
Tay.
It feels like
I'm sorry
Evan.
I know that people hate nicknames. I'm sorry.
I feel like Tay knows more about production and history. But I feel like Evan is more of the hunter. I don't ever see a post where Tay-Tay's like, I'm going out to do bourbon hunting today, or going out and buying bottles, or I'm driving up to Effingham today. No, that's not a Tay-Tay thing. That's an Evan thing.
No.
So
That's because he's doing it for Tay.
I'm
Yeah.
making a thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, he's hunting for Tay, 100%.
Yeah.
Like he's
Tay-Tay's not going out
I
to do
kind
that.
of felt like it was Taylor's thing, and then
he's
Evan
Tay whipped.
yes, I can like it too. Like, whose thing was it? Was my question, but then I ruined it by the way I phrased it, and I'm so sorry.
This is the end for me.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Wait,
sorry.
can we go back to the sticker show and do a Tay sticker?
Right, the Tay-Tay
I
sticker.
am so sorry.
Yeah. And
well,
I'm
I'm
blame
fucked.
you. But you know what? If he just lets that roll off, if it's like a duck and it just rolls off, he doesn't even say anything. We don't pick up on that.
I know.
I'm not. Yeah, but when he says, "Oh my god, dude, you can't
Like
call
we
her,"
love her too. Like she's fun when she wants to be, but I feel like she's more reserved. Like she's like more like an introvert. Like she doesn't want to be that, but she could be that. We love her. We want her to be that, but she doesn't want to be. So
Her passion is on the distilling side, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look over my shoulder. So really, all of this it's just in support of that. I've kind of co-opted some of it. Like she's not as much of a buyer or a hunter or anything like that. And I wouldn't even call myself a hunter. I'm probably the laziest hunter of all time.
You show up to stuff.
You're a gatherer.
I'm more of a gatherer. But yeah, I mean, I show up. I like doing stuff. I like hanging out with people. I'm a little bit more, just talkative, meet new people. But it's her passion that I am living through, right? Like she started me on it. She's the catalyst. She's the reason. And I'm just more of a face. I'm definitely the mouth. That's for sure.
I worded it in the worst way fucking possible. That's on
So
me.
Jim,
the best way possible.
Jim, what do you want to ask either Evan about his bourbon journey, or you can ask about Tay Tay too, because there are many.
I'm asking both. So when you and Tay Tay were doing this, the VanScoyk bottle.
VanScoyk. Tay Tay VanScoyk.
Explain to us the process of how this bottle happened for you and Tay Tay's wedding.
And Jim, I apologize. I lashed out at you a few minutes ago, and I'm sorry.
It's too late for that.
Look at Evan. He's a big man.
It's too late. Wait till I tell Heidi about this. Wait till I tell Heidi.
I'm a defeated man at this point. I have lost. I am in the grave. I would appreciate if you'd stop throwing the dirt on me. But I am in the grave.
But I will say, you and Tay Tay's bottle is fantastic. I'm going to do a little more.
Good whiskey. Yeah, Tay Tay has some good whiskey.
I filled that bottle so fast. It's a great bottle.
So I want to know how this happened.
Yeah, so we asked Dave, what type of options we had, and I was like, we thought this would be really cool to get a whiskey for our wedding. So we were able to. It is a
cool idea.
Yeah, we were able to acquire a barrel at no small cost. But a part of doing that is, we got to choose the mash bill. We got to choose how long it aged. We get to choose the labels, everything like that. So Dave actually brought us in, and we did a recipe tasting. We brought in some different ideas. He took his 100%, 100 proofs and blended a bunch of stuff up for us. And Taylor's recipe that had a large percentage oat actually was our winner. So we had just enough to be a bourbon. About I think it's 29% oats, and then cherrywood smoked malt. So that's our bourbon recipe. You can find that on our labels if you have one. Yeah, so it's 51%
oats and 19% cherrywood.
Yeah. So we chose that recipe. It was actually hers. We did the blind tastings. When it got distilled and started aging, we got to choose the exact proof point. We chose the proof point that actually happens to coincide with our wedding date. So it's 116.2 proof. That is 11/6/21, the day we got married.
Yeah,
so it was a really, really cool experience.
Yes, yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
Well, Tay Tay did a good job.
She did a great job.
It's going to be a divorce now, so, based on the show. So that's the downside of Evan's special bourbon journey show. Evan gets divorced. So there you go. So there's Evan's bourbon journey. How about that? So Evan, it is a neat thing that you did with the wedding whiskey.
So,
it's a great whiskey.
Talk about Evan's line dancing. I felt like that was probably part of the bourbon journey, right? Like crew line dancing, country bowls drink, whiskey. That was probably part of it.
I mean, that's how I met Taylor. So I guess technically that kind of started. I started dancing when I was in college. So at this point, 14 years ago, I started line dancing, and about 6 years ago now, I met her. So probably coming up sometime next month, 6 years ago, I met her. So that started the path I was on.
There you go. That's a beautiful story.
Well, there that, buddy.
It's an American love story right there. So yeah. So it's good. They're a great couple. But goddamn, I got to throw that Tay-Tay thing out there. It's just too funny.
That's gotta be.
I like those two, but it's just too good. It's too good.
Yes. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I'd be nicer, but you fucked Heidi over last year, so
yeah. You've got to come. And what I want to do is get public humiliation's always good.
Yes.
I want to get with Dave from Still 630 and have him drop it. He always does like a little speech.
Humiliate me.
Tay-Tay barrel. We need a Tay-Tay single barrel.
No, you need to humiliate me.
Oh
no.
Yes.
Yeah, we will by doing this because you're going to be in so much trouble. It's coming. Yeah.
The Tay-Tay single barrel sounds great.
Yeah. We'll get with the Neelys immediately.
Collaboration between all the friends of the ABV network. They all release a Tay-Tay barrel.
Yeah, Lenny's got one coming out next week. The Tay-Tay barrel.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Evan, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me about 6 foot down in the grave that I have dug for myself. Yeah. I'm also on socials.
Yeah. McNew bought the plot, and then you dug the grave.
I did. I'm sponsoring it. I'm sponsoring it.
Wes, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Bourbon_West. So you can find me on Twitter at BourbonWest, one word.
All right, Jim.
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fazon or Instagram at FazJim, FAZZJM, or shoveling dirt onto Evan's grave.
McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Our events, Bourbon Zeppelin, so much more, abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience, so please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps see people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. Farnance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Outro.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.